Gospel for Charity concert is happening on the 14th of September from 6 to 9 p.m. It is hosted by the Social Workers for Christ non-profit organization, and this morning they are on the now to tell us how we can be a part of the spectacular event. We say good morning and welcome to Mr. Lennox Smith, the Director of Social Workers for Christ, as well as Ivy Lord, the Secretary for Social Workers for Christ. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome.
Hi, good morning to you, and
morning.
Thanks for having us, particularly at this time where we are hoping that this thing will be a bumper success through your, of course, intervention in the way that you have accommodated us.
In this case, it is almost natural because when we have endeavors that create positivity in the nation, we can certainly support it.
Beautiful.
But tell us a little bit first off about Social Workers for Christ and what the organization itself represents.
Right. Well, of course, well, first and foremost, it's an ecumenical organization, meaning that it cuts across all religious and denominational sect in the country. That's the first thing we should know. So even if you are not Christian oriented, not because the name is, of course, Social Workers for Christ, doesn't mean that you cannot participate
Beautiful.
And make a contribution. Fundamentally, we are about giving back to the community. Many of us are professionals. Some are not. Some are in between, and of course, some are not. But it's all about volunteerism. It's all about altruism as well. And therefore, you will find us hosting or organizing marathons, for example, on the question of relating to health. And then, of course, we'll have charity events such as, of course, providing a soup kitchen, for example, for the vulnerable. And most significantly, I think, we are rural-based, not urban-based.
Okay.
And there's a specific reason for that, because whilst I am an urban guy, I'm from Laventille and so on. But the fact of the matter is that you have a lot of poverty and needs that has to be addressed. And on too many occasions, we found that that is ignored simply because of the, should I say, the out of sight, out of mind kind of.
That's exactly what I thought, actually.
Yes.
Nothing more than we're not seeing it, so we're not able to address it.
Yes.
So in this case, the Gospel for Charity event will actually address some of those areas.
Yes,
specificity in the aid of building a halfway
in addition
center
to, of course, that halfway center for, of course, those persons who are experiencing depressions and mental health of one kind or another. I want to thank up front, of course, those professionals that have come forward voluntarily, of course, psychiatrists and other persons in the field. So I am not a specialist there, but you when you're interacting with these kind of persons, you learn a lot quickly at that. I'm more on the administrative side, but certainly it is a pleasure to see them work, of course, the evaluative processes, the diagnostic, and these kinds of analyses, and of course the prescriptive aspect of it, which is what we are hoping this halfway center will, of course, produce. And it's really, really very, very, should I say, heartwarming feeling so to do. And another thing that is critical as well, in my observation, having been involved, is that it's across the board, across the demographics, across the professions. People have some serious mental issues, but it is also taboo.
Right.
And therefore, people will not come forward.
Outright.
So therefore, if you want to call it the respect for their not wanting to make it public and is respected. And we cherish that. And I'm saying that because I want to put a pitch for those persons who may have a problem and believe that their issues may be publicized. We say that it's total secrecy, and we respect that.
The word is privacy of the day, at least.
Privacy, yes.
And in that case, getting into the event itself, Ivy, tell me a little bit as to what it's going to look like. I imagine there will be some beautiful voices and performances, but you tell me.
Of course, worship and praise. Thank you. We have, different artists, gospel artists. I did not know we have so many. That is so talented.
Absolutely.
So we have, Minister Fahrenheit. He would be there to perform and, give them the praise and the support. We have Sean Daniel, and we have Blessed Messenger. We also have Samantha Johnson will be there to perform. And then we have dancers from Pillars of Truth Covenant dancers.
Okay.
And Pastor Taron Baines is the MC of the program. So, it's have a lot more entertainment. It's supposed to be a fun night.
I imagine. What you've described, though, is a nice mix of performances, but with, for example, a pastor at the helm of things. I'm sure we're going to get ministry in a more direct way as well.
Yes, of course. But it's taking place at Dr. Levi Duncan Convention. So, all the different ministers is going to pass and, give that word and that support, give the encouragement for people to let them know that they have support.
Absolutely. And this one, we have early bird tickets, as we were talking about off there, that will be available till when? What is early Trinidad version?
Well, as we know, Trinidad is always late. So we still keep the early bird thing going and make them know,
As a concept.
Theoretically speaking, early. So that is available. From where exactly? Where do we get tickets, Ivy?
At the convention center, and you could call 3 numbers: 303-1650, 793-3578, and 335-8049 for tickets.
Now, Lennox, tell me, is this something that we will be seeing regularly occurring? Because in terms of charity and lending support, it's something that continuously happens.
Yes, because it's about funding, because you would appreciate that these ventures requires a minimum amount of funding to provide the facilities. The physical plant must be so adjusted. So therefore, we are talking here about fit for purpose. And of course, if you are bringing in the professionals, as I've boasted about and commended earlier, you would appreciate that they would expect a certain standard, which we, of course, hope to provide by having these regular fundraising activities. It is crucial as well in terms of the fundraising aspect of it to strategize in such a way so that we could accommodate all. So Shogunas wasn't chosen by accident. It's almost central to almost, but whilst our activities are quite down in Point Fortin, that is where the halfway centers will be are located. So that we recognize has to be critical for accessibility and for convenience. And so we believe that this will be just one of many more projects of a similar nature, because it's a continuum, frankly. Yes.
How do we follow, or who do we follow, if we wanted to keep in contact to find out about next events or future
The Social Workers for Christ. We are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, and the other platforms that you can get us on.
And go ahead and give me those numbers again, Ivy, to make sure people get those tickets so that they can head down on the 14th of September to that Gospel for Charity concert.
303-1650, 793-3578, 335-8049. Contact numbers.
And of course, remember, whether you're a Christian or not, you are invited. This is an ecumenical event of altruistic nature to address a specific problem in the society that, if it is not addressed or if it is handled badly, we can see, of course, as we are seeing, repercussions of it even in our burgeoning crime situation, and in particular among young people.
Absolutely. We say thank you very much, Mr. Lennox Smith, the Director for Social Workers of Christ, as well as Ivy Lord, the Secretary, giving us the insight for the upcoming Gospel for Charity concert. It's happening on the 14th of September from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Dr. Levi Duncan Convention Center in Shogunas. You guys can call numbers on screen for more information. But remember, those early bird tickets are $100 until Friday. You'll get them soon. We take a break and come back with more here on the Now Morning Show.
Badang, badang. Woo! Make room.